Here we have a 2012 Mini Cooper 1.6 diesel with approximately 81,000 miles on the clock. Right, so as part of the service I'm carrying out on this today, I'm going to be doing an oil and filter change. So always a good idea just to pull the dipstick up a little bit, like so, and I always take the oil filler cap off as well, just to allow air back into the engine while the oil's coming out underneath. Right, so I'm going to start with the oil filter, which is here. 27mm, I've got a socket and a ratchet, but obviously you can use whatever you've got, a spanner, that would do. Right, before I go too far with it, I'm going to jam some blue roll down there, try and catch any drips. That's it. Because it will be messy. There. Right, so the housing's come off and left the filter behind, which shouldn't be a problem. It just pulls out, as you can see, quite a bit of a mess. Catch that in the blue roll and get rid of that. So looking in that oil filter housing, in the middle you can see the raised part with a hole down through the middle. That's where the centre of the filter pushes over. And in roughly the 2 o'clock position you can see another hole there. Now on the oil filter there is a little bit which needs to locate in there, that part there. So I'm going to put this in first and get it in position. So we want it around about there. Oh, there it goes. I probably had it about the 1 o'clock position. Gently twist to the right and that's gone in nicely. So in with the new oil filter, you get this little pack. You can see a copper washer there, that's for the sump plug, which we'll deal with in a little while. One O-ring seal, which goes on the oil filter housing. You can see the old one there. Just need to hook that out. Try not to ping it and sling oil everywhere. Then just put your new one back on in the groove that came out of. That's it. That's ready to go back on now. You've got to push it down first to get it into that oil filter, the centre part. That's it, there it goes. Make sure I don't squash that wire. So it does give you a torque figure on there. If you've got a torque wrench handy, that's quite useful, 25 Newton meters. You just need to keep in mind it's only a plastic housing. You don't need to go super tight with it. That'll do nicely. So, like a lot of cars nowadays, this has got a plastic belly pan on the bottom of it, which we will need to remove to access the sump plug. Some manufacturers do put a little access panel in you can take off to get to the sump plug, but unfortunately not on this one. So we're going to have to get stuck in and take it off. So underneath the Mini, we can see here the sump plug, which is a 17mm. It's not a very deep head on there to fit a socket or a spanner on, so as always I'll try and use a single hex socket where possible to reduce the risk of slipping. Right, that's loose. I'll just hold up my drainer ready to catch it. It's a warm engine, so it should come out relatively quickly. Yeah, so if that was cold, it wouldn't come out quite that fast. So yeah, supposed to be ready with the drainer. So once that's slowed down a little bit, I'm just going to let it trickle away for a while until it's down to a drip. Don't want to put it down just yet because I've got a feeling that might trickle out. Right, so before I put the new sump plug in, we've got a new washer which came in with the oil filter. So I'll pop that on there. Now the old washer has got stuck up here. There it is. So make sure you get that off before you put the plug back in. Normally they stay on the actual sump plug itself, sump bung. Don't need to go too mad with that. Okay, so next I'll drop it down and we'll put some oil in. Right, so we're going to put some oil in, just make sure the dipstick's up a bit, stop it splashing back up through the funnel. This particular engine, it was recommended 5.2 litres of engine oil. I'm going to put in about 4.8 and run it up and just see where that gets us to on the dipstick. Obviously check with your motor factor when you pick up parts, they'll be able to recommend the right type of oil for your particular engine. There are quite a few different variants of engine oil, varieties. Yeah, hopefully I'll slightly underfill it and that will save having to keep getting underneath and draining off any excess engine oil. Too much engine oil can cause just as much damage as having not enough. So you want to make sure it's as close to the maximum mark as possible, maybe slightly underneath it. Right. Let's just put a little dribble more in there. Okay. So I'll fire it up. Don't need to rev it at all, just let it tick over. Make sure the oil pressure light goes out. Probably hear it quite chattery there to start with. That's because the oil's been drained down. It takes a little while for it to draw it back up, which is what's quite important, not to rev the engine straight away, just let it idle. That sounds good now though. So we'll turn that off and let it stand for 3 or 4 minutes and check it with a dipstick and see where we're at. Right, that's stood for a few minutes now. Just going to check the oil. Hopefully it'll be a bit low. Yeah, you can see it's above the minimum, but not far above it. So I'll go ahead and keep topping it up in small dribs and drabs until we get up near the maximum. I'll leave that for a few moments, check it again with the dipstick, and if it's still down low, just repeat, just carry on like that. It's a lot easier than overfilling it and having to drain a bit out. Right, so several small top-ups. It stood here for a couple of minutes again. Make sure that's in all the way. And as you can see, that is just fractionally below the maximum. That's where I want it to be. When that's sat overnight, I'm sure that will creep up onto the maximum. So that just about brings it to an end. I'll take this funnel out. We'll fill the cap back in. Not forgetting, I need to take it back up in the air actually and put the under tray on. I'll generally leave it off just in case I overfill it and have to drain a little bit down. So we'll pop it up in the air and get the under tray back on. So most of these fixings all went back in fine, apart from these front ones, which are all quite rusty and they kind of hang on a little bit, but it's not great. Just pop back out again. So I'm going to put some cable ties through just to make sure things don't go anywhere. So it did already have a couple of cable ties in here and holes already there. I've just made another pair of holes there and put a zip tie in that side as well. That's about it now. You do tend to find on cars as they get older a variety of different fixings, particularly on these plastic shields where they tend to fall apart or deteriorate. So that's the oil and filter change done. I'm going to drop it down, give it a run round the road and double check there's no oil leaks. But that's it. Hopefully that's been of help to somebody. Thanks for watching. If you find our videos helpful, please hit like and subscribe to help us out. Nice one.